Hi, everyone. Have you ever heard somebody tell you should follow your passion or that you shouldn't? Well, that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. Now, not to be negative, but today we are going to learn 8 reasons why you actually should not follow your passion. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Alan, and I help coaches and freelancers to get clients and grow their online businesses. Now, today we are looking at a few reasons why you should not follow your passion. Now, this is not meant to be negative, although it may come off that way. And actually, right after this, I'm going to make another video about why you definitely should follow your passion. So anyway, let's go ahead and jump right in to a few reasons why you should not follow yours. Now, the first reason why you should not follow your passion is because most passions are common or pretty much universal. Now, this pretty much means if you're a foodie, if you enjoy food or travel or your kids or pets or pretty much any one of those things, you and everyone else. Now, this isn't meant to bash you. Well, this whole video will kind of seem like a bashing, like a dream crusher, although that isn't the goal. This is just meant to give you something to think about when you end up choosing your niche or whatever your goal or career or whatever it is that you pursue. But anyway, just keep that in mind, that when you say, I love travel, so I'm going to pursue this. Yeah, you and everybody else. I love hanging out with my kids. I love hanging out with my dog. I love whatever it is. Just keep in mind, you are not the only one. So if you are going into one of these markets, because these are definitely not niches, and you probably want to go for sub niches below that, so this is like 5 levels too high, just keep that in mind, that whatever your passions may be, you and everyone else. So just keep that in mind. The second reason why you should not follow your passion is because there is an interesting difference between creating and finding your passion. So for example, let's get a little sciencey here, which this is actually important, but we're just going to talk about it for a minute, is that science and studies have noticed that we are passionate about what we are good at. So I always come back to this story that let's say you're a 10-year-old kid or 20 or however old you want to think. Let's say you are equally passionate about learning piano and guitar. So let's say you buy a guitar and you're just not good. You practice, you learn, you watch YouTube videos, you hire a tutor, all of this good stuff, and you just suck at guitar. On the other hand, let's say that you try piano at the same time, and next thing you know, you are super good at it. It comes super easy to you, and you just learn it super quickly. Now, science and studies show that you will become more passionate about piano or about whatever you are better at. So the point here is that if you are passionate about something and if you want to stay passionate about it, then you should get better at it. So the point is that this second reason why you should not follow your passion is because you are probably passionate now about things that you are already good at, or things that are just easy to do, because that's just human nature. You are naturally going to be more passionate about things that are easier overall or things that are easier to you. But if you are interested in guitar or whatever this other passion may be, then the trick is get better at it. Practice. There's a good story about the founder of Chipotle. I read this in a book. I'm not sure if it's true. I assume it is. But anyway, the founder of Chipotle, which is like one of the biggest restaurants in the US right now, is that he actually wanted to start a fine dining restaurant, some fancy hoity-toity, whatever it is. But he started Chipotle just kind of on the side, pretty much to fund his real goal. But next thing you know, Chipotle blew up and his fine dining goal or project just floundered or never really took off. And next thing you know, the Chipotle founder said, wow, actually, I am passionate about Mexican food. Actually, I do enjoy this a lot more. So anyway, the point is that we are passionate about what we are good at, and pretty much things like that. So just beware your passions, because if you are good at something easy or at something that's just kind of meh, then that might be your passion when you could be capable of much more. The third reason why you should not follow your passion is because passions change. Now, some people consider this a negative, but this is actually just human nature. So you shouldn't consider this negative in any way at all. It's natural. Not only is it natural, it will happen whether you like it or not. Well, it depends on which passion it is, but you get the point. Now, the best argument for this is one that I make a lot, is to consider kids, like let's say high schoolers. Now, most high schoolers, they only think that like 30 jobs exist. They're like, I could be a cop, a lawyer, an engineer, a doctor, an accountant, and let's just assume another like 15 jobs, and that's all they know. But then once you get to college or later, then you realize, oh my God, there aren't 30 jobs available to me. There are literally 1,000 jobs, careers, businesses I can start, and so forth. So just keep that in mind, available to them for them to pursue at all in the first place. So anyway, the point here is that your passions not only might change, they probably will change as you are exposed to more people, to more industries, to more jobs, businesses, markets, niches, and so forth. The fourth reason to not pursue your passion is because passion does not equal skill. Now, the best example of this is to go back to American Idol, if that still exists, or pretty much any one of those shows where people wants to be judged positively by other people. Now, if American Idol does still exist, the point is that so many people go into this show saying, I'm so passionate about singing, so it's gonna save me from this life I live now, and my life is gonna be so great then. But like, this just isn't the case for most people and most of their passions. So if you're passionate about training dogs or singing or spaceships or math or science or English or whatever it may be, just because you're passionate about it does not mean you are good at it. Now, this is not me saying give up, don't try, abandon your hopes and dreams. That's not what I'm saying at all. In fact, it's kind of the opposite. I am a huge fan of persistence and pursuing your dreams, but just keep that in mind, that whatever you are passionate about does not mean you're good at it. The fifth reason to not pursue your passions is because they probably aren't yours. Now, I know most people will say, I know who I am. I know what I'm doing. You can't tell me that these aren't my passions. I'm going to pursue my goals and dreams. Okay, cool. I support you. Definitely trust me that I support you. But kind of like I just mentioned about high schoolers, is that you probably aren't even aware of all of the things that you are probably passionate about. So if you are, let's just go back to a high schooler, I'm passionate about animals, so I want to be a vet. I'm not saying you're wrong, but so is everybody else. And you might be passionate about another billion things that you just haven't been exposed to. But back to the passions not being your own, a lot of people, I'm just going to stick to high school, kind of pick on them, even though I don't mean to here. But a lot of those passions of high school students that age are like, I want to be a doctor. I want to be a lawyer. I want to be a football player. I want to be a singer. I want to blah, 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 blah. Let's just say I'm taking myself as an example here. Most of those goals and dreams that people under 20 have really come from externally, because people tell them money is important. So pursue a goal that makes you money, like a doctor or a lawyer or a whatever. Or you need something that makes your resume looks nice, or that employers might like, or that will get you a big house, or that will get you XYZ, or that will make other people impressed with you, which are really other people's goals for you. That might be your parents or society or your grandparents or your sibling or your boyfriend or girlfriend or your college or your counselor or whatever that may be. Is just keep in mind that a lot of your passions and interests, many of them are yours, don't get me wrong, but many of them have probably also been heavily influenced by outside forces. So are you interested in being a doctor? Maybe, maybe not. Power to you if you are. But people tend to not come to that type of conclusion on their own. It's usually because their parents have been badgering them and telling them how great it is to be a doctor or a lawyer or a CEO or to live in this city or this country or to make this amount of money or whatever. So just keep that in mind, that that is another reason not to pursue your passion, because there's a good chance it's not yours. The next reason to not pursue your passions is because not all passions are profitable. Now, this is probably the most common and low-hanging fruit here, which is that if you are passionate about underwater basket weaving or about remote controls or cords that connect to microphones. Okay, those are bad examples, but you get the point here, is that just because you are passionate or interested in something does not mean there is money to be made. Now, this does not mean that money should be the number one goal in your life, but it does matter, especially if you are into starting a business, which is what I'm into and is pretty much what a lot of this YouTube channel is about. So I'll just assume that that's the type of interest that you are looking to produce. So if you are interested, and let's say you're interested in 4 things equally, 4 totally different topics. One of those topics, one of those passions may have 0 money, 0 products you can sell, 0 services you can offer, 0 careers and jobs available, pretty much nothing like that, which is totally fine as a hobby. I know this video sounds kind of negative, but I am not against you pursuing those things at all, just against you making that your career or your business. The next reason why you should not pursue your passion is because once you come to rely upon it, you probably will either dislike it or even hate it. Now, the point here is that many studies have been done are people who actually do pursue their passions or interests and so forth. And what they have noticed is that whether you like art or drawing or business or driving or pets or whatever your topic or niche may be, once you make that your job, your career, once you come to rely on it for income, for revenue, and so forth, there is a good chance that you will actually come to dislike that topic or niche or thing that you used to like, or you might even grow to hate it. Now, of course, this is not always the case, but this is something to watch out for because this actually affects many more people than you might think it would. So anyway, just keep that in mind, that if you come to rely on your passion for income or for pretty much anything, there's a good chance you will grow to dislike it or that it won't be your passion anymore. The next reason to not pursue your passion is actually more of a reason to not pursue it first. This just means that the problem with most people pursuing their passions is that they just don't do it in the right order. Now, this might sound like your parents' or your counselor's advice, but the point here is that you should probably focus, or you would probably be better served by focusing on an income generating source or pretty much anything like that. Call it a job or a career or a business or pretty much anything like that. But the point is that if only you could get your financial situation sorted first, even if it's just to a minimum level, then that will give you much more leeway, freedom, and time to pursue the things that are your passion. So again, I am not saying don't pursue them, but the point here is just don't pursue them in the wrong order, which means pursue your money first, and then you can pursue as many passions as you want. And the absolute best way on earth to find out if you should pursue your passion or not is to hit the like button and subscribe below. If you learned something interesting today, it does help a lot. So to summarize here, I am absolutely not saying that you should ignore your passions or interests. And in fact, right after this video, I'm going to release another video about why you should pursue your passions, so you can check that out here. In any case, for more help booking more sales calls and coaching clients, then definitely book a free strategy call with me below for more help on picking your niche, building your sales funnel, and more. Well, that wraps us up for today. Thanks everyone for stopping by, and I'll see you on the next one.